On today's video, we're going to be looking at a particularly interesting Sith Lord that you're probably familiar with if you ever played Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm talking of course about Tulak Hord, also known as the Lord of Hate. A Sith Lord so infamous, his actions would make Order 66 and the subsequent Purge appear child's play. But who exactly is this fierce warrior? So it's important to know that all this is now considered Legends material, unfortunately. However, it's a Sith Lord that I personally love and think you guys will too. Now, Hord is old, being around approximately 6 millennia before the Battle of Yavin, and very little is known about his early life, and this is true for a lot of Sith and even Jedi. They tend to come from quite humble beginnings, and then get plucked out of nowhere to study the Force because of their natural affinity to it. He was a pupil of the early Sith Order, and he was quick to rise through the ranks, which likely entailed killing a lot of Jedi, but also probably killing quite a lot of Sith. He's revered as one of the most skilled lightsaber duelists ever to grace the Sith Order, and was also incredibly affluent in his Force abilities. It's recounted that he once managed to pull a ship from orbit during one of his many battles. Most of the knowledge that we have about Hord comes from Sith lore. However, we also have his Deshard servant, Kem Val. Val was defeated in an honourable duel against Hord and was therefore honour bound to serve him. Now, it's quite clear that Hord had quite a lot of respect and knew the value of his Deshard manservant, as sometime prior to his death, he placed him in a stasis chamber in Sith Lord Nagasadow's tomb on Korriban. He's actually eventually discovered by a descendant of Kalik. Now, as a side note here, Kalik is one of the Sith who chose to serve Hord. However, Hord had him killed as he saw him as a potential rival. This is not uncommon in the ancient Sith. The fact that there was so many of them around at this point meant that they naturally turned on each other quite a lot of the time. Hord is particularly revered due to his Sith crusades, where he and his followers conquered over 100 worlds and systems. He's also accredited to rediscovering the Dromund system and conquering it, including the world of Dromund Kaas, which would one day become the site of the new Sith Empire under Vitiate. During his campaigns, allegedly thousands of Jedi died, in no short part due to Hord and his Deshard. He wasn't only a master of lightsaber combat and manipulation of the Force, he was also an incredibly powerful Sith sorcerer. He developed a way to consume the powers of his defeated enemies, making him even more powerful. Interestingly enough, this is actually kind of what the Deshard are able to do, so it's possible he developed this technique from his time with Kem Val, but that's just a theory. Now, Hord was a traditional Sith, meaning that when he did eventually die, it was at the hands of his own apprentice, Orton Seller. Interestingly enough, his life force was then consumed by Seller's own Deshard. In the end, Hord was laid to rest in a tomb on Korriban, like many other Sith before him, and his tomb was very quickly looted by other Sith, and even Jedi Knight Revan. You see, everybody wanted to get their hands on Hord's extensive knowledge, particularly in lightsaber combat. Hord, like many other Sith, had a large amount of holocrons developed to be used at a later date. It's possible he did this and then hid them so future generations would know his techniques, but not his rivals. Now, eventually his tomb was collapsed and would lay dormant. However, who knows what treasures still remain inside. But what do you guys think of Tulak Hord, and what do you think would happen if a Sith of this power reappeared in the Star Wars universe around more recent events, such as the Galactic Civil War or Clone Wars? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. We're also so close to 100k now. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheLoreGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. But most importantly, thanks again for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed and I'll see you next time.